Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for another one of the quarterfinals. Last night, we got to see the Blues victorious over the Waratahs. So that means that they are one of the four semi-finalists confirmed this game. The Reds taking on the Chiefs. Now, this game means a little bit extra to the Chiefs because of the fact that the Reds, they are the only side to have beaten the Chiefs throughout the Super Rugby Pacific season. They were able to get themselves their first win on New Zealand soil up against the Chiefs in about a decade, the Reds, from that last performance. But the Chiefs, they look fired up. They've got an all-new look inside compared to that last time that they did go head-to-head. Curious to see how this one goes. Looking through at this Chiefs starting lineup, it will be Aiden Ross, Samaso Takiaho, and John Ryan as the front row. The experience of Brodie Retallick going to be there at forward. Josh Lord, the youngster, who's got a couple AB's caps to his name. He will be there at number 5. Summer Penifino at 6. Sam Kane at number 7, but Luke Jacobson has actually been changed to coming off the bench rather than starting, and Peter Gus-Soakula will have that starting spot. That is due to a bug that was going through this Chiefs side earlier on in the week. They said that Luke Jacobson was still feeling a little bit worse for wear, so that's why he's coming off the bench rather than starting. Brad Weber, the co-captain, at number 9, with Damian McKenzie at 10, two very important players for this contest. Now, we did see Weber was rested the last time that these two sides did play. McKenzie was playing there, though. So he will want a bit of redemption. Ramika Poihipi, I should say, at number 12. Anton Leonard-Brown at 13. Then Tino Nanasatore out on the left wing. Amoni Narawa at 14. And then the dangerous Sean Stevenson slotting in at number 15. We have got there. Let's go. The Chiefs and the Kiwi Lads. Good evening. Welcome in, Nate. 3 games in a row we've got for the quarterfinals, but it does mean that by the end of the night, we will know exactly who are through to the semis. Now, the Reds, they have gone with Penny Ravai in the front row alongside Matt Faisler and Seth Fangasi, Angus Blythe, and Ryan Smith, the locking duo, with Suru Uru, Fraser McWright, and Harry Wilson there at number 8. Tate McDermott and Tom Linar, 9-10 for this match. James O'Connor moves out to 12 with Filippo Dalgunu in the midfield for the Reds. Josh Fluke, Suliasi Vunivalu, who is coming into some pretty good form at this stage of the competition. And then Jock Campbell at number 15. Now, I should mention, though, for the Reds, they are coming off quite a string of losses. As you can see there, they lost to the Blues, they lost to the Highlanders in a close game, and then they were defeated by the Fijian Drua most recently. But that win there, May 12th, Chiefs versus Reds, they were victorious, and that is the game that they've got to try and fire up like they did in that contest. Try and put the Chiefs under pressure early. We saw last night from the Waratahs, they were a perfect example of a side who started well and then let the game slip out of their fingertips. And not only did they let that slightly slip, they well and truly blew it. They're the Tars. So the thing, that was almost a pun. Well and truly blew it. I'm sure we'll have better ones throughout the day. Looking at the Chiefs, they've been in some pretty good form. As you can see, the only defeat for their Super Rugby Pacific season was up against the Reds on that May 12th day. But now they're at FMG Stadium rather than in Taranaki, and they want their redemption. They want to move on to those semi-final spots. So far, like I mentioned, we know that the Blues are there. Still a couple more games just around the corner for those quarterfinals. Chiefs by 100 points, says Nate. Okay. 10 might be a better difference between them two. I know that the commentators, they were all going Chiefs by 13 plus. They feel with the fact that they have got a different side compared to what they had the last time these two sides faced off, that the Chiefs are really going to pour on the pressure. And afternoon all, says Jason there, and he has got that New Zealand emoji, of course, becoming the member yesterday. Hope you are enjoying your little pictures. We got a few of them as well. Hopefully we get a couple more added in the near future. Go the Chiefs, says Reed, Damian McKenzie, ready to go for this contest. I mentioned in our preview that myself and Rugby Itch did that we thought maybe they'd take on a couple extra 3-pointers early, and then from there, they'll head for the corner. And Classic Reaction says Blues, Nate. And mornings from Sweden, says Builder McLeod. Welcome in. Very early morning, I think, for yourself in Sweden. Cheers, Mana, says Marco Avunapola there as well. But it will be Angus Gardner in charge of this contest. A big matchup. Quarterfinal number 2. The winner of this game, we don't actually know who they will be facing. If it does end up in the case of the Chiefs winning and the Satyrs winning, though, we would know that whoever wins that last game between the Brumbies and the Hurricanes would be the opposition for the Chiefs. But second quarterfinal, we are underway at FMG Stadium in front of about 16,000 they were expecting for this contest. But Brodie Retallick gets up well. takes possession for the Chiefs early on. Now 22 metres out from their own line. Josh Lord tackled low by Harry Wilson, player who has been fantastic throughout the regular season for the Reds. Nana Satoro kicks downfield, trying to get that little bit of territory early. Tom Liner now decides to, however, crack at the line. He's tackled by Sean Stevenson. Counter ruck there from the Chiefs, unsuccessful. McDermott now goes off to the left-hand side. Matt Faisler tackled by Samapenny Finau. Big opportunity to start this match, but with the changes, does make sense. Kicked him behind by the Reds. Oh, there's a foot on the line there from Atino Nana Satoro. Early mistake after the grubber goes in behind from the Reds, and they will now have themselves the line out at 6:30 a.m. There's Belden McLeod. So, yeah, nice and early. Atino Nana Satoro just brushes the touchline. Now Matt Faisler with the line out throw. Now, this is an interesting matchup because it is the most successful line out in the Reds versus the most successful line out in the Chiefs. That first line out, perfect for the Reds. They do claim it with Angus Blythe, looking to get this rolling maul starting. They've already been told to use it once. Not really going anywhere at the moment. That's risky, the fact that they have decided to continue marching, dealing with Aiden Ross right there, ready to turn the ball over, but it goes off to the right. Suliasi Vunivalu thought about the offload. Now McDermott has been played by Sam Kane, but they did say that the ball is out now. Penny Ravai, recently selected for the Fijian squad. It might be heading to that World Cup. Peter Gus Sawakula getting up very quickly there to make the tackle, starting at number 8 due to Jacobson's little bit of a flu that he has got. Ball still available for the Reds, 10 metres out from the line off to the left-hand side now with Harry Wilson. So McDermott will be once again using those big forwards this time. Ryan Smith moves up to only 10 metres out again. 7 phases in a row now for the Reds. Looks like McDermott says we'll let the forwards have a couple more carries here. Retallick trying to get over the ball, wins the turnover penalty. Brilliant work from big Brody Retallick. I can only watch for an hour. Have to head north to Norrköping to ref a national game, says Belden McLeod. So hopefully you are all fired up for that one. Do let us know how the result goes if you are back before the end of the Brumbies Hurricanes, I believe, will be that one. Chiefs are going to win by 36, says Mark. Okay. It's a big margin, but certainly fired up at the moment, the Chiefs, after that last loss. You're going to hear me mention that one quite a bit throughout this live stream, so I do apologize in advance for the Chiefs fans with the PTSD from that game, but it's a whole different side this time. Augusto Akula's here is, and I don't think the emojis come through, 9-hour return trip. Okay, so it will be a bit longer than that. Then we might have to catch up on it next weekend. Surely we're going to get an upset in the playoffs. Doubt it will be this game, though. There's Jason. Oh, so does that mean Fijian draw to beat the Satyrs, or are you going the other game? The Hurricanes come in as slight underdogs, I believe. Or no, they might actually be slight favourites. So, yeah, the Brumbies come in as underdogs, even though they're at home. They have a pretty decent record there. Kicked him behind from Sean Stevenson. Looking for the touchline. Nicely taken there by Jock Campbell. Keeping it in the field of play. Goes down deep to Damian McKenzie on the 22 now. It will be Amoni Narawa. Puts the boot downfield on his right. Tom Liner getting to start this match at 10. He did come off the bench last week. Once again, flat kick down the middle of the park. At the moment, it is just a bit of back and forth. Nana Satoro kicks it deep to Suliasi Vunivalu. He's going to boot it down the middle of the park again. Slowly, the Chiefs are starting to get into the Reds territory, but McKenzie goes for the kick again, looking for the 50-22. Going to stay in the field of play. Picked up again, I believe, this time by Josh Fluke, who will kick it downfield. Doesn't find touch. Now Amoni Narawa charging at the line, 30 metres out, just ends up slipping before taking the contact to Siru Uru. Weber goes across the left-hand side, now to McKenzie, Samapenny Finau in behind Stevenson. Leonard Brown now on the outside. Had Nanai Satoro decides against it, though, and goes into contact. Now Weber back to McKenzie. Little short pop pass up to Finau. Don't push it into him. Angus Gardner not allowing the Chiefs to milk the penalty. Cross kick from Rameka Poyapi. Goes out to Amoni Narawa with the chip and chase. Him versus Fluke. He pushed Fluke, though. That's going to be the try, but I think they might go back and say that he pushed him there. And it was the kicker tonight. They haven't had a kick yet, but I believe it's McKenzie. Catch up in the semi. Go the Chiefs. Have a national tournament in Auckland tomorrow. Brumbies certainly have a reasonable chance, at least, says Jason. But Amoni Narawa, I think they need to go back and have a look at this kick. Or more the push that Amoni Narawa gave The Reds number 14, Josh Fluke. I'm not completely sold on it. He was chasing after it. Gets the push in the back. And then Amoni Narawa scores the try. Are they going to be checking this one again on the TMO? How much of an impact? Yeah, now they're going upstairs. And this time next week, 22 more Australian males than their coach. We're watching, says Mark. And also, how many paid subscribers do you have, says Jason? I think it's around 20, 25, somewhere around there, if I'm not wrong. We haven't updated the emojis for a little while, so I think that is something we'll have to do in the near future because I think we've still got the Christmas one. Unless we have taken away Amoni Narawa. Bit of a push. It wasn't the biggest push you ever see in a game of rugby, but I think they're going to say there's enough contact there to call it as a no try. Go the Chiefs, says Vinny. Going to be called as a no try, which does not make the FMG crowd very happy. But it now means that the penalty will be going the way of the Reds, only a couple meters out from their own line. Amoni Narawa, he's probably thinking in his head, geez, if I was going to get penalised for it, I would have given him a decent shove. Dan says, not one big day, Kiwi lads. Much love, Harris family. Chiefs for the win and no try, says Trevor. And Brumbies are Australians. Australians don't play contact sports, says Marker. I mean, I watch a bit of the NRL, which probably says otherwise, doesn't it? And also makes me happy, says Trevor. Got a couple decent UFC fighters as well. Try and tell Alex Volkanovski that he doesn't take part in a contact sport. He'd probably knock your block off, Mark. Now it's going to be a line-out throw for the Reds. Nicely thrown into Siru Uru. Goes back to Fraser McWright. Cross to the left. McDermott goes to Wilson. And hey, guys, says Obi. And geez, everyone blow the cobwebs off and support the good work Hamish and the lads are doing. Says Jason. We do appreciate the support a lot, Jason. That's a great take from Sean Stevenson. Ball on the outside. The Ramikapoya now kicking it forward off the left-hand boot. Or the left side boot. McDermott, ball knocked out of his hands. Now, McDermott saying he didn't touch that one. So maybe Daniel, is Anton Leonard-Brown going to get penalised? Or not penalised, but maybe call it as a knock-on. Is it a try or no try? It was no try because Amoni Narawa shoved the guy. Big love. The Harris family up the mighty Chiefs. Says Marco, makes me happy. Says Trevor, there for it be a no try. It is now going to be a scrum 5 meters out from the line. Nice pass on the outside. The Ramikapoya that straight away put McDermott under pressure. And then the ball just knocked out of his hands, but he did end up touching it. So it does mean it's a 5 meter scrum for the Chiefs, and they will continue to apply this early pressure in the quarterfinal. Looks like they've got quite a compact backline here. They got McKenzie right next to him. I believe it's Ramika Poihipi, so maybe a bit of crash ball from the 12, then firing it wide. Damn unlucky Narawa. Says Blues, Nate, a big gust for the next try. Says Nod Mum there. The ball. The big shove there from the Reds. Peter Gus Soakula, miscommunication there. And it means now that big Harry Wilson charging forward. Beautiful pass on the outside off to Josh Fluke, who decided to go for the kick instead. Looking for the 50-22, and he's going to get a brilliant play from the Queensland Reds. And that has now completely changed just in that short moment. It went from a 5 meter scrum. Peter Gus Soakula, he was supposed to take the ball off the back. He didn't realise, though, and he just stood there. Then Fraser McWright got in and managed to get the turnover for the Reds. A brilliant 50-22. I first of all questioned why they kicked that one rather than just running it out the back line, but it was a good decision in the end. Nice work, Fraser and Harry Reds. Oosh. Yeah, them are two to watch out for in this contest for the Reds. They are certainly dangerous. And they get going now. Filippo Dalgunu runs it straight, tackled by Sam Kane. 20 metres out from the line now for the Reds. Matt Fazer, this has become a rolling maul here, and we know that the Reds love one of those. They have scored many tries off it throughout the regular season. Now, Harry Wilson has the ball at the back available for McDermott. He's to use this one relatively soon. Yep, he has now got his hands on the ball, goes off to the left-hand side. James O'Connor with a bit of a step taken down straight away by Weber. Sam Kane finishes the tackle. Now off to the right, still 15 metres out from the line here for the Reds. Going to be the early advantage. I believe that is against Brodie Retallick for offside. In fact, it might have been Aiden Ross instead who was penalised. Now off to the side. Skip pass from James O'Connor. And Suliasi Vunivalu gets himself over the line. First try of the match goes to the Reds. And the trend continues of the Aussie side scoring first in the quarterfinal matchups. Kane Haynes is part of the Reds coaching group. Oi, Sully. And who's going to win this match? This Trevor. It's a tough one to predict. The Reds, they beat the Chiefs last time, but the Chiefs, they have been looking dangerous. I know that this is probably a bad representation because they have just conceded the try. Not that, not how you do it. Says no, mama. Let's go, Chiefs. Is in there. And the Chiefs 45, Reds 17. Yeah, says some smiley sideways faces. That's quite cool that you've managed to make it so that your emoji is also a sideways smiley face thing. Now, Suliasi Vunivalu, first try of the match for the Reds. Tom Liner, a tough kick from the sideline, but 10 minutes into the contest, the Chiefs find themselves down by 5. 87% kicking record for Tom Liner throughout this season, so he hasn't been going too badly at all. And that one just going to curl away to the right-hand side. Had a little bit of a tail on it. The Reds still 5-0 up. Nice, brother, up the Chiefs, bro. The nice skip pass from James O'Connor. Sean Stevenson, he had a valiant effort to stop him from going over the line. But in the end, Suliasi Vunivalu, just that little bit too strong, manages to break through. Now the Chiefs, they'll be looking at that scrum from 5 meters out. Now the big question is, because of such a late change of Peter Gus-Sowakula going into the starting lineup rather than Jacobson, who was going to be starting at 8, perhaps maybe that's going to have a little bit of effect on them early on, partially charged down by Brodie Retallick. That kick downfield from the Reds. Now on the halfway line, Summer Penny Finau decides to run it straight, met hard in the tackle by Angus Blythe, who drives him back a metre or two. Now McKenzie going for the kick, charged down by Matt Faisler. The Chiefs under more pressure with a Moni Narawa now considering the run himself. Taken down by Siru Uru. Okay, once again, Angus Gardner says don't push it into him. John Ryan, the Irishman, hits it up. And got the Highlanders jersey at the local op shop for $2. Guess someone has come to the end of it. Also got a Māori All Blacks one at the same price, so I won't complain. $2 is a very good price, Jason. Even if you said $20, that's still very good. Yeah, quite the bargain. Kick downfield from the Reds again now. Etenai Nana Satora going to be testing out that stepping game. Big shot on him by Filippo Dalgunu, who gets over the ball, wins the penalty for the Reds again. Now they'll be able to kick this one down towards the corner. These Reds are looking dangerous as Arvo, says Marco. And one too many. He's Bagza, says a Blues name. But yeah, at some stage, if Kerr ends up showing up on a live stream, he did send me a package. And I believe I know what it is. But we're going to wait for him before we do open it. Might have something to do with the Hurricanes, though, which is a bit exciting. It's going to be kicked downfield. Going into touch for the Reds. Now they are 20 meters out from the Chiefs line. I have to say that those 2 points early that were missed, they could come in crucial later on in the game. Mean bro Jason Hamilton says, crap. So where are you based, Jason? Are you actually based in Hamilton, or is that your last name? It might be your last name. But yeah, wherever you're based, sounds like a lot cheaper than down here. Like even like second-hand jerseys down here, you're looking at paying like $70. Nice offload there. Matt Faisler inside ball. Miscommunication though. And it means now the Chiefs have got the counter-attack and opportunity. Offload from Peter Gus Sowakula. Goes forward to Brad Weber. Strike number 2 for Sowakula in the start of this match. Dunedin. Nice. So a Highlanders jersey down south. That I feel like that's even more of a bargain, isn't it? Come on, the Chiefs, you need to win this and over or under 62.5. I couldn't tell you. I'm terrible at guessing how many points are going to be scored. I know that in my prediction, when me and Rugby Itch were predicting, I said 25 points to 15. And Bags of Hamish, Mr. Kerr, where you at, my guy, says Blues Nate. Yeah, she's probably pretty early where Kerr is at the moment. Only sitting about maybe 6 a.m. So we might see him on one of the later ones. No Super Rugby side has won a Super Rugby finals match in New Zealand. 0 from 14 is the stat that they've just shown, but it will be a scrum feed for the Reds on the 22. Call a set there from Angus Gardner. And now they start to march there. Massive push from the Chiefs, but the ball just sneaks out the back. Weber makes the tackle on his opposite number, McDermott. Now off to the left-hand side, Harry Wilson. Nice step. Looks like Samasone Taukiaho over the ball, but player hadn't rolled away. Another penalty to the Reds, and they may end up in the scenario of going for the 3 here. They've got to look at what happened for the Waratahs last night, the amount of times that they didn't take on the 3, and the amount of times that they walked away empty-handed for the points department. And Kerr, we want to unwrap our presents, says Blues Nate. like Christmas every day, isn't it? Where's your mum? Says Caleb. She's currently playing golf. That's where she is. She won't be home for another maybe hour or so, depending on how long they stay at the club. I had a bit of a hit yesterday for myself in the golf club department. Didn't go too well. Very good at hitting the ball badly. Now, Tom Liner, fifth best kicker in the comp, they have just said, but a lot of pressure on the young man. He's missed away to the left-hand side. So no matter how good you are normally off the kicking tee, finals rugby just feels a little bit different. That special edition one, when they played the Lions in Dunedin, must have been around 2016, I'm guessing. Nice. It's probably still decent condition as well. So hopefully it's your size, or is it just one that you're going to have in like a replica case type thing, or just hanging up? And g'day, Kiwi lads, Reds, says Spider-Man. Yeah, they've started this match well, 15 minutes in. Currently the Chiefs not on the board as of yet, but they've had a good opportunity earlier on. So I think they'll still find themselves some points very soon. That's going to be kicked high. Now Sean Stevenson takes it nicely, trying to step and spin out of the challenge. Back across to the right-hand side now. Weber goes to the big man, Ryan. Driven backwards by Penny Ravai. Back into the pocket for Damien McKenzie. Will not be able to kick this one out on the full. Kicks it down the middle of the park. Nicely taken by Jock Campbell. Now looking for the 50-22. Looks like he might have overcooked that a little bit. Goes straight to McKenzie, who now looks to run it back himself. Kicking back down the middle of the field. Playing the territory game early. Both of these sides not wanting to play it from inside of their own half. Now kick for the touchline from Tom Liner. Decent distance on that. Will be about 42 metres out now with the line out for the Chiefs. And what do you think of the Blues' performance last night, lad? I thought they started a bit rough, but then from there, all they needed was that one penalty against the Tars, and they were back in it. And then from there, they did look pretty strong. And I think there'll be a real challenge for whoever they come up against in the semi-final. But yeah, they just took a little bit to get going, but once they were going, they were gone. You know? Hydration. I need plenty of it today because I think I'm going to lose my voice. I was on the bench for the Chiefs. One change that they did make is the fact that Jacobson is now going to be off the bench rather than starting. That is why Peter Gus-Soakula is out on the starting side. And tell you what, that's a decent run there from Josh Lord, I should say. Back across to the right-hand side, Damien McKenzie finds the pass on the outside to Rami Kapoepi. It seems that the Chiefs have now got themselves the penalty advantage. New advantage now. The player not rolling away. So Masoni Takiaho goes across to McKenzie. Big shot coming in on him in the midsection. Kicked him behind from Sean Stevenson. The bounce wasn't favourable for Sam Cane down the wing. And they will go back for the original penalty. I think my daughter is claiming them so she can wear them to the All Blacks in August. The Highlanders next season, says Jason. And mind you, this is do or die. Reds here to place there, Spider-Man. Exactly right. At the end of the day, this is your last chance. One of these sides, unfortunately, will be going home. McKenzie, they will take on the 3 points, seeing as they are straight out in front. Come on, the Reds. Says Stian there. And how about our Warriors last night? Blokes are always playing 13 versus 14, the extra play and being the damn biased refs, says Marco. I think I've sneezed on both of these live streams that I've done so far for the quarterfinals. Fun stat. Harry Wilson disappointed, though, to give away that penalty. My tickets for the All Blacks World Cup pool games came yesterday. Woohoo, France, here I come. Says Belter McLeod. Yeah, that first game between France and the All Blacks, that is going to be quite the intense one. A few other big matches taking place in round one also, but we are covering every single game of the World Cup on the channel. Anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We're also going to be doing the lineup announcements when they are announced, a little bit of preview as well. Oh, yes, says Belter McLeod. I want the Hurricanes to win, and also the Fiji and Droy and the Reds. The Hurricanes get a home semi-final, says Darren. But the kick from McKenzie is successful. That will be the first points of the day for the Chiefs. They now sit on 3, while the Reds still sit on their 5. It looks like a decent crowd for this contest. I know that they mentioned that they're looking at about 16,000 in attendance at FMG Stadium. Slowly still filing in the people. Ready for an entertaining contest, but the Reds will now be kicking this one off from left to right. Going to be kicked high. Gus-Soakula does well to take that one in the air. Now Weber has the opportunity to go back across to the left-hand side. Lord goes to McKenzie now at Tino Satora. He will be booting this one downfield. Doesn't go out on the full. Brilliant kick. I was waiting to see whether or not it was going to get called back. And also, who do you think will go to the semi-finals? Says Nazar. I mean, the Reds have started this match very well, but normally with the Chiefs, they do pretty decently in that second half. So I'm going to say that the Chiefs edge this one. And then, yeah, the Fijian draw Crusaders game is a tough one because it's a little bit of a head and a heart scenario, isn't it? I love the World Test Championship. Australia versus India right now. Says Darren Lincoln, can't wait for the Ashes Cricket Test Series. Yeah, just around the corner, that one. We'll be covering a lot of it on the channel. That is the plan anyway. On your Builder McLeod. Spit on the feet of the stinky frogs, will you, mate? Says Marco. Interesting. Peter Gustowakuli ends up with that ball now. Referee has to try and get out of the way. Now moving up to 40 metres out from the line here. The home side. Samasone Talkiaho starts to drive the legs. Great tackle made on him, though, by James O'Connor. Back to the right, McKenzie. Goes to Poihipi, the inside centre. Anton Leonard-Brown straightens with his run. Already a quarter of this matchup gone back across to Talkiaho from McKenzie. Getting the legs driving again. Now back across to the left-hand side. Ramika Poihipi goes to McKenzie, who backs himself to step around the outside of James O'Connor with the drawn pass. Now Peter Gasoakola, the chip in behind. Well claimed there. No option for the Reds. But to run that one into touch, and that will now be the goal line dropout for the Reds. And also there's 100 people watching and only 16 likes. Smash that like button, people. Let's get to 50 likes, says Darren there. Bloody hope with all the games tonight you have more than just shoestring fries on the menu tonight. Fun fact, already had some today. Had them just before this live stream. It's because they're so easy, isn't it? Like, they take 23 minutes, I think I've got it down to. It's almost a fine art at this stage, trying to cook them for the exact time in between the streams. Like, in between this one and the next live stream, I won't have time to have anything substantial. So I probably won't even get any food for tea. But then after that next live stream, I'll have about a 40-minute break where I'll probably just cook some shoestring fries. And then, yeah, have my meal after it's all finished. Nice ball on the outside to Stevenson. Driven backwards by Filippo Dalgunu. Now counter-ruck there. They're going back for the original penalty to the Chiefs, though. So they might take on another three-pointer. And also, my guy, wear a Kiwi Lads t-shirt. We'll definitely keep an eye on you. Pie only takes 2 minutes in the microwave. That is true. Although I don't have any pies on me, unfortunately. Right, looks like they are going to be taking on the 3 points again here. This will mean that Clayton McMillan's Chiefs side will take the lead. And also, how do you think that Fijian versus Crusaders game? I hope it's close. I hope that the Fijian draw, they play like they do when they're at home, even though they are away. That is one thing that they have struggled with a little bit is away games. But when they're playing at home, they're a whole different beast. Beating the Crusaders this year, beating the Hurricanes this year, having some real good performances. So hopefully they show up for that game at Orange Theory. Stuff says Amelia K. Welcome in. You are doing well. McKenzie currently sitting with the 100% kicking accuracy. And a big old smile at the post here. It's ready to line up the kick. Got plenty on it. Down the middle, and that will now give the Chiefs the lead in this quarterfinal fixture. 6 points to 5. What's your opinion on the Warriors last night, Hammy? I mean, they had to dig deep, that is for sure. But yeah, a very tough one, but they managed to do very well, the Warriors. Currently 23 minutes go the Chiefs, says JMS. Simon Penifino versus the Reds lock. Having a good tussle tonight, plenty of boomfa hits. Yeah, I mean, the physicality certainly there, I should say, throughout this matchup. Freddie Retallick lands awkwardly on the ground. Now McKenzie on his own 22 goes off to the big loose air prop, Aiden Ross. Now back to Tinana Satoro. And also Tosoduro Tosso says Nazir. And yeah, we are covering that game just around the corner as well. So that is going to be a pretty awesome one. On high, Tinana Satoro takes it nicely, wrestled towards the touchline by Harry Wilson. Now back across to the right-hand side. McKenzie goes to Sam Kane. Great low tackle made on him by Ryan Smith. And also, we have got there, how big is Waimedi? Seen one of your videos and looked like there is more to it than I presumed. Well, if you're talking about that bowling vlog, fun fact, we traveled 30 minutes to go bowling because here we don't have really anything. I think the population's about 4,000, somewhere around there. So, yeah, not exactly a big town. We don't have any fast food outfits that you see in other small towns. Like, we've got a fish and chip shop, we've got a pub, We got a supermarket that closes at 8 p.m. and then opens at 8 p.m. or sorry, 8 a.m. the next day. But yeah, we had to travel 30 minutes to do that vlog when we were kind of going around bowling and whatnot. And also, you're the man if you do that. Massive shout out, my guy, Bright Yellow Kiwi Lads. Stairs Blues, Nate. Once the Chiefs get into their flow, look out, Reds. Currently on the halfway line. McKenzie with the chip in behind. And Moni Naroa chasing it, but it's gone straight to McDermott, who now charges forward at Anton Leonard-Brown. I have a dream Chiefs seem or sees red tonight. Now, nice step from Dalgunu. Goes underneath the challenge of Atina Nanasatoro to the short side again. Suleasi Vuniavalu just bumping off Sam Kane, but he does get him on the second attempt. That's got to be a penalty to the Reds. Players not rolling away. Leonard Brown did well, but it's just the fact that two of his teammates were still in the breakdown. Small Town Rock, I prefer it over the Big Spoke. I do as well. After our Christchurch trip, I'm happy enough in the small town. We saw so much weird stuff, illegal stuff while we were just there for one night. So, yeah, not keen on the big city. Although I'm going to Auckland at some stage. That will be very interesting. I feel like I'll just be hiding in the hotel room the whole time. How's the crowd tonight? They are expecting about 16,000. Still quite a few people walking in. Yeah, around 16,000 or so. Still not quite a full stadium for the Chiefs, but I'm sure if they had a home game next week, they would have plenty of people piling in. Also, a little bit of an earlier game on a Saturday, so some people are still playing their regular rugby. Now McDermott goes off to the left. Gunu hits it up at Sam Kane. Weber puts the body on the line there to make the tackle as well. Up a little bit early there, Aiden Ross. I would have my arm out for an advantage if I was the referee. Now Ravai going round the side here. 5 meters out from the line. Brilliant crawl forward round the side of the breakdown. Dalgunu extremely close. I think he might have propelled himself forward. It's going to be called as a no try. Lol, want weird? Go to Amsterdam. That place goes. Says Builder McLeod. When you go into Auckland, says far. We were supposed to be going near the end of the month. That was the original plan, although all of a sudden we're almost like halfway through this month, which is a bit tricky because we haven't actually booked anything. So it's going to be quite an expensive trip, which at the moment I don't think we have the funds for. But yeah, in the future, we want to. And I can tell Tony Distracted isn't too keen on the small town. He's through and through. Boys, says Marco. He's tiring out the Reds. The Reds will be bad come the second half. It's going to be kicked downfield. Here comes Harry Wilson. Charges and dropped on his back by big Brody Retallick. Little bit of a counter ruck there from Summer Penny. In fact, it's Summer and Taukiaho. And the ball now going to be on the sides of the Chiefs. Brilliant work from a few of the veterans of this Chiefs side. Ball goes out the back for Taukiaho. John Ryan hits it up. Reds looking for the turnover, unable to do so. Now Taukiaho moves to 40 meters out from the Chiefs line. Back to McKenzie in the pocket, who boots it downfield. Goes down to the 22. Not really care about who wins tonight. I'm happy to watch my Blues in, and I'm happy. Says Spider-Man, kick downfield. McKenzie once again takes it just outside of his 22. Back down the middle of the park. Deep into the 22 of the Reds. Tom Liner now we'll be looking for the touchline. And it's gone out about maybe 48 meters out from the Reds line. So a decent enough kick downfield. And Reds have seen Reds before one do it again. Says Thean there. And also the Reds 25, Chiefs 22. And not really care about who wins tonight. I'm happy to watch. And I read that one and ooshed, what a tackle. Some big hits coming in from both of these sides. And it just shows that there's going to be some battered bodies by next week. I almost see some battered Brodies, but he's looking all right at the moment, Brody Retallick. Aiden Ross bleeding. I believe he's got a cut about there. Yeah, he's not looking too flash. Aiden Ross's eyebrow looks like it's been kind of created into a new eyebrow just below. Gonna need some Vaseline on that. He's saying, no, I'm good. I'm just chilling. Ollie Norris, he's come out to say, am I supposed to be here? He's gone over to Angus Gardner to have a chat with him. I need the Chiefs to come away with the this kiss. They're the ones with the best hope of beating the Satyrs or breaking the Satyrs winning streak. Love Harry Wilson or Wilson's run it straight. He does. What a lad. Shout that man a beer, says Marco. Yeah, he's always going to put in that 110%. We've seen some big hits. We're just seeing them at the moment. Summer Penny Fino when he was running at Ryan Smith, and then Harry Wilson tackled well by Ross and Retallick. That might have been where the cut opened up for Aiden Ross just in that breakdown afterwards. Okay, Sam Kane just having a discussion with Angus Gardner, who's pretty much said that Brad Weber keeps trying to milk penalties. Best to get on with it, was the comment there. And the way they smashed each other, one of them bell to the other. Tossa Chiefs, Tossa says Arisi and go the red, says Levi. And Chiefs through and through. Says Crip and big tackle from both sides, gashes and cuts. Oh, there's Ian Foster watching on. Man who had a 50% winning rate throughout his Super Rugby career as a coach. He became the All Blacks coach. So I feel like that's one of those things that no matter how bad you may seem you are at your job, you may still get a promotion. So keep trying. That's a good life lesson, isn't it? I know the pilot has cheap airfare. Christchurch to Auckland for around $32. Jeez. The pilot. I've never heard of the pilot. Is it a legit one or is it a scam one? The pilot. It thinks I want to watch a 1980s film. The pilot, I guess, flights? Maybe? Save70.com. I know the pilot. Is that the one? Cheap flights? Could be. Oh, sorry. I know the pilot. Yeah, sorry. I got confused. I've never heard of I know the pilot. Sean Stevenson gets the offload on the outside to Josh Lord. I'm moving forward nicely. And what are doing there? Says Spider making the Blues versus Waratahs match yesterday was a dreadful example of a quarterfinal. Just how long more until we wait? I see classic matches across Super Rugby, says Connor Cahill. Nice cross kick there. Out to Anton Leonard-Brown. Downfield. Nicely taken there by Josh Fluke, who has to kick it into touch, not too far out from his own line. Hi, Kiwi. Says Barry. Welcome in, Barry. Hope you're doing well. And should watch the Blues last night, says Spider Mick. Also, Sam Kane's daddy and Foster in the crowd with 10 hot dogs, 10 hot chips, and 3 cans of Coca-Cola. Sounds like it would have cost over $100 easily at a rugby game, wouldn't it? Weber goes across to it. Nana Satoro was the first receiver. Nice tackle on him by Fraser McWright. Now back across to the right-hand side. Samapeni Finau. Dalgunu in the breakdown. Wasn't able to get his hands on the ball, though. Now up Alkiaho. To the left-hand side. Josh Lord hits it up. Fiji and Drew versus the Crusaders is up here. It is just around the corner. Taking place in 2 hours' time. Big shot on Sam Kane. Driven backwards awkwardly from Filippo Dalgunu. The city was on the ground when he got the turnover, so the penalty once again goes the way of the home side, the Chiefs. And I believe they will once again take on the 3 points here. It is straight out in front, 23 out at 7:08 a.m. in South Africa, and it's pitch dark, says Barry Green. So, yes, certainly an early morning start for you guys over in South Africa. We're considering covering the Western Province versus Sharks game tonight, which will be up or will be on 3:05 a.m. New Zealand time. Haven't quite decided yet, but we're getting close to probably doing it. Big shot on Sam Kane. His arm went absolutely flying. It was a weird fall for Sam Kane. And come on, the ref. And sounds like a bloke who never set foot on the field. Sure writes paragraphs on you, lad. Says Blues Nate, and also Crusaders will win 2. 80 kicks taken for Damian McKenzie. 59 have been successful. Taking his time, McKenzie smiles at the posts. And now, kick is over. That will make the score 9 points to 5 in favour of the Chiefs. So that's slowly starting. Oh, someone had a sign that said that they get Sam Kane's boots. What time normally the sun come up by you? I'm curious to know. Says Barry. So normally we'd look at maybe somewhere around that 7 a.m. mark. Although in winter it's sometimes a little bit later, maybe 7:30. I believe it's a hard one to answer for me because I'm normally going to sleep at about 6. So I don't get to see the sun. Normally by the time I wake up in the afternoon, the sun's gone as well. So a bit nocturnal, those Northern Hemisphere live streams. And it's going to be worse during the Ashes. We're going to be going from 10 p.m. to 5:30 a.m. on some days. Kick downfield from McKenzie. Taken now by Campbell. Moves up to the halfway line, boot down the middle of the field. Once again, McKenzie takes it. At the moment, you'd have to say that the territory battle is going the way of the Chiefs. Big boot downfield from Damian McKenzie, looking for the touchline. Suliasi Vunivalu keeps it in the field of play, decides he wants to have a bit of a crack down the middle of the park. Big shot on him by Samapeni Finau again. Now counter ruck from the Chiefs unsuccessful. And Oosh Gangsters in the house. Says Nazi and come on. Chiefs, show how good you are. Got to try, not penalty. Oh, Reds offloading that ball. Well done from Aiden Ross there. He was in an offside position, almost went to pick up the ball, but pulled out of it at the last minute. Means that he didn't give away the advantage. And Oosh Gangsters in the house. There's Nazi Williams. Going to be kicked up high from Blues, Nate. Nicely slapped back by the Chiefs in the end. It's actually going to be the knock on against the Reds. Imagine how imagine Fiji Drua make an upset against the Crusaders. Says Barry. I mean, the benefit that they've got is they have beaten them before. They actually beat them earlier on this year, but that was in Fiji. So it makes it a little bit more challenging with them being away from home. Hamish is a vampire, remember? Says Marco Vunipola, certainly are. It's like Josh Lord. Doesn't look too flash at the moment. They just said that he did actually get a concussion the last time that these two sides did play off. It's taken a little while to get back to his feet. They might take him off for an HIA, or is he going to be all right? Looks like he might have just taken a bit of a knock. He joins back with the huddle. Now it is going to be the scrum for the Chiefs. Now another 7 minutes remaining in this first half. A low-scoring one so far. A nice close final. Exactly what people want to see. And draw is a slight chance, says Nazi Williams. Yeah, the odds are against them, but that's sometimes when the draw are at their most dangerous. You've seen 55% possession for the Chiefs, 50-50 in the territory department, and almost identical for the time in the opposition 22. Just that 8-second lead for the Chiefs. It's actually, it's a very even game between these two sides for the first little while. Oh, one of the Reds players walking away. And he's going to wait a little bit longer. And first rule of playoff rugby is always take the points, says Belden McLeod. And I think that is where certainly did hurt the Waratahs yesterday when they were kicking for the corner. If they had scored, it would have been a big payoff, but they just didn't really get that chance. I know, says Spider Megan, sorry. It's imagine my grammar, says Barry Green and Malo Hamish signing in for South Korea. Go all Kiwi teams, says Imogen. Yes, every point counts. Now Brad Weber feeding the ball in once again for the Chiefs at scrum time. It's going to be a big push from the Reds. They get the penalty. Now, this is a kickable 3. It's not the easiest kick in the world. It is slightly out to the right-hand side near the touchline and then also probably about 40 metres out. Tom Liner, normally pretty successful, although today he isn't sitting too great, sitting 0 from 2 at the moment. So I think he's just having the conversation with McDermott. I think they're kicking for the corner. I think Tom Liner said, I'm not feeling confident. They're going to give the ball instead to Jock Campbell to kick this one for the corner. So a big call from the Reds, although they do have the most successful line-out in the Super Rugby Pacific competition. Perhaps they are about to show exactly what they're able to do for that rolling maul, although the Chiefs have been defending it very well throughout this first half, not allowing too many meters in that maul scenario. But anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I should mention, we are on the road to 25,000 subscribers. If you do want to help us out, hugely appreciate a nice set play there from the Reds. Little offload to Sira Uru, who then feeds the ball back to Fraser McWright, wrestled down by Sam Kane. 3 meters out from the line, round the side. Ryan Smith, you can really see the urgency here from the Reds. Harry Wilson's ended up with the ball. There might just be a try for Harry Wilson. Has he got it? I think he's got it here. On-field try for Harry Wilson. The man may have just got himself over the try line. Okay. If it's a no try, they're going back for the penalty against 7 Black. On-field decision is a try. Is he on his feet? That's the big question. And give it to Tom's old man. He'll nail that kick, says Nazi Williams. Right, so this rolls forward. Fraser McWright's down. Then from there, it's in the breakdown. Ryan Smith picks it up. Where does Harry Wilson end up with this ball? I think it's all right for Harry Wilson. I think he's kept the momentum going, and I think this might end up being a try. He's on his feet, rolls over the top, grounds it. I think this is going to be a try now for the Reds. going to be Harry Wilson getting himself over the try line, doing very well. They're going to award the try as well. Harry Wilson scores and the Reds take the lead now in this matchup. No, says no mum. And you may award the try. Says Bottom going to have to head to the train. I will log in once I'm on the board. Let's go. The Chiefs says Bottom McLeod. So good luck for your refereeing contest. Hopefully it all goes smoothly for you. This is great thinking from Harry Wilson, though, to grab that ball while the ruck was still being formed. The Reds, they get themselves the second try of the match. Come on, the Chiefs get some tries, says Nov Mum. Right now, the kicking opportunity here again for Tom Liner. Can he line this one up? He's missed again, unfortunately. Not a kicking day for him. That is 3 unsuccessful so far. You wonder whether or not in the second half they may consider giving James O'Connor the kicking tee, but this is a lot of pressure on a youngster to have the kicking tee in this kind of scenario. Definitely in a close game where every point could be crucial. At the moment, the Reds have missed out on a total of 7 points due to poor kicking. So Leasivuni Valu takes it off the kickoff, drives to just outside of their own 22 here, the Reds. Back across to the side, here comes Harry Wilson again, the try scorer. Fantastic work from that man so far in this contest. A pass back. Tom Liner gives it the boot downfield. Got that one all right. Mainly because it wasn't aiming at the tee. Big run from Summer Penny Finau. Brilliant tackle from Fraser McWright, though. Now Taukiaho goes across to McKenzie to Kane in the midfield. Chiefs looking like they've found that little bit more aggression in the way that they're playing for the last 5 minutes. A bit quicker, the pace of this one. Amoni Narawa knocks the ball on the ground. They did see it. And it is now going to be a scrum feed for the Red. Currently looks like more of a contest than most would have expected, says Jason. Yeah, a lot of people were saying the Reds, they were going to get knocked out of the park for this game, but they're certainly showing why they beat the Chiefs last time, aren't they? They're showing that they are a contender. Amoni Narawa just getting that one slightly wrong. And what is with the Reds when they play the Chiefs? They just step up to a notch, or a notch of 3, says Phil Spencer Harris. Yeah, and I actually, when I saw that the Chiefs were playing the Reds in the quarterfinals, it made me sit here and kind of go, because, like you said, they seem to find that next gear, and it makes it pretty tricky. At the moment, the Reds are still $4.20 underdogs, I do see, for this matchup. So people are still saying, even with the way that they've started, the Chiefs are going to find that momentum in the second half. On the Reds, come on, boys, says Stan. Now, Tate McDermott was about to feed the ball in, but the front row has gone down. I believe that is on the far side with George Dyer. In fact, no, it might still be John Ryan. It is John Ryan penalised for that one, and the Reds now have the opportunity to once again kick this ball for the corner. Wonder what is the plan from here for both of these sides, because at the moment, the Reds are playing a very good game. The Chiefs, they haven't been bad at all. These stats have been extremely even, but I think that for the Chiefs, if they can stop the Reds from scoring again right at the end here, it's going to be absolutely massive for them, the overall scheme of things. But you can see the excitement. Some of Penny Finau, he's confused, but he wasn't in the front row. He didn't quite see what happened. And Reds here to play, aren't they? I thought they are here on holiday, says Spider-Man. Nah, anytime they come to New Zealand, they really want to turn up. Definitely when it's up against the Chiefs, though. Matt Faisler now tries to throw the ball in, stolen by the Chiefs, who now take it back deep into their own 22. Amoni Narawa goes across now to Oramika Poihipi. Got a good right boot on him, kicks it downfield. This is a good kicking option now for Jock Campbell to return fire, get all his players on side. Big run from Brad Weber to get to that ball. Now Sean Stevenson kicks it downfield, thinks he sees a bit of space, but Tom Liner is back there and ready to take the ball. Now has a run himself, goes around Brody Retallick, almost went through about 2 lines of Chiefs defenders, but McDermott gets it back across now. Ryan Smith running around the outside, goes to Penny Ravai. Pretty good hands for the big Fijian prop. Looking for the kick downfield, goes into touch. And now going to be another line out for the Chiefs. Roasted lamb flaps, good for one's arteries. Roasted lamb flaps. Where is the flap of a lamb? I can think of, like, you know, on a car, you've got the tires and then you got the flap at the back, the mud flaps. I don't think they're in the same spot for a lamb, though. Whereabouts would its flaps be? Not sure. Our Lord Back across to Weber. Run up there from Tino Nanasatora. In fact, it was Rameka Poihipi. Now Weber goes across. McKenzie in behind to Narawa. Now they're starting to become a little bit more space here for the Chiefs. Great run from Narawa. Moves up to 40 meters out from the Reds line. The Chiefs currently down by 1 point. The siren sounds for halftime. They got one last attacking opportunity. Aiden Ross wrestled down. Advantage in favor of the Chiefs. The mistake from the Reds. Both losing their footing there. Now Samasoni Taukiaho round the side of the breakdown. Weber goes to Mackenzie Kane. The co-captain runs over the top of Tom Liner. Back across Mackenzie again. Goes this time to Aiden Ross. Big run from Sean Stevenson. Got pace. Ball on the outside. To Amoni Narawa. And he'll score the try. Right at the end of the first half. O'Connor was caught on his heels. And Amoni Narawa was already sprinting towards the try line. He missed out on the try earlier on in the contest. He certainly got that one. And they are now going to be taking the lead for halftime. Jess ends up winning this one, hopefully, says Jess Win. And between the legs, says Nazi Williams. Maybe. Yeah, could be. And also, Chiefs so desperate, says Spider Meekin, after being at the last two Highlanders home games. Can definitely vouch that it is better at the game when it comes down to the last 5 minutes. Keeps you on edge of your seat and wide awake, says Jason. Yeah, that is why this game at the moment, it's been a very good one because we've seen some good tries from both sides. James O'Connor, he's disappointed because he was caught out of position, unfortunately, and couldn't get that acceleration that he needed. It took him a little while to process the fact that it was going to be Amoni Narawa charging down that left wing side. Now a kick for Damian McKenzie. I already mentioned that we've seen some missed opportunities for the Reds when it comes to points. McKenzie at the moment, he is sitting free from 3. This one a little bit harder, though. It's 51 meters out on the angle. Try, let's go, Chiefs. Here's Blues, Nate. 20 seconds now. McKenzie has to take this kick. See Angus Ta'avao in the background, one of the injured props for the Chiefs. Does enjoy talking, though, so he's got himself a gig as one of the commentary team. McKenzie lining up the kick again. Wasn't a huge smile from McKenzie, but pretty good kick. It's gone over. He looks disappointed, Damian McKenzie. I don't know if he realised it went over, but it has. It's going to be 16 points to 10 now at halftime in this contest between the Chiefs and the Reds. So they may have been down by a few points a few times throughout this half, but they still managed to fire back, get themselves the lead, 16 points to 10 going into the second 40 minutes. We will get some stats up for this game, you good thing, or go you good thing, Chief, says Mataputa there. Yeah, seems like they are going to be quite clinical in the second half, perhaps, for the Chiefs, just making sure that they can get their ball out to their backs, because that's something we've hardly seen Tino Nanasatora running with the ball. Same can be said about Stevenson and Narawa, but when they have had that ball, they have been pretty dangerous. Harvey Norman always try and sell me stuff at halftime, and it works because I'll probably go to Harvey Norman tomorrow. Get a bonus gift card for a washing machine. I don't even need a washing machine. I do still have a bonus $10 gift card, though, that I got with a Bluetooth speaker, so I'm happy about that. I think he knows I'm not going to be a walk in the park. Says Nazi Williams and Stevenson being a revelation. He can spot a gap, be gone in seconds. Go, the Chiefs go, says Jess Win. But yeah, he's been sensational. I would be hugely disappointed. There are 3 players at the moment. In fact, we'll go with 2 that I feel have to be in the squad for the All Blacks somewhere. One of which is the man we just mentioned, Sean Stevenson. The other is Mark Talia. If he doesn't make his way into the All Blacks, I don't know what more that man can do. He's already tied Doug Howlett's record for the most tries in a season. That was held for 20 years by Dougie Howlett. So, yeah, I mean, Talia's doing something right, you would have to say. But we have actually seen more tries from the Reds in this contest, ladies and gentlemen. The 2 tries to the 1 of the Chiefs. Defenders beat him. The Chiefs have beat him 15. The offloads, we've actually seen 4 from the Reds and not a single offload from the Chiefs for this matchup. And also Yogi and Boo Boo says it was Nate. Just looking through it, the meters carried. Apparently the Reds have carried 8 meters and the Chiefs have carried 0 meters. So some of these stats might be a little off, just because I know things can change in a game, but I think I saw more than 0 meters carried for the Chiefs. Looking at the tackle stat, those 78 tackles made by the Reds, missing the 15, 55 tackles made by the Chiefs, missing the 6. It's up to Foster, the fate of Talia. And also, Chiefs need to win, get their hands on the guillotine here, or their heads on the guillotine here, and wait till the end to see the head still intact. Second half, last 40 minutes, interesting. Going to be a good one, that is for sure. We've seen 6 penalties against the home side, the Chiefs, in this contest, compared to the 4 against the Reds. Looking through at player stats, yeah, no one's had any running meters according to that, so we won't rely on that. Saruru's had 7 running meters, fun fact. He's had the most out of the Reds because that's the only stat that's there. McWright, he's made 13 tackles already, and Dolgunu's been solid. Made 6 tackles, got 2 turnovers in the process. Jermaine Ainsley and Billy Harmon deserve a look by the ABs at least. Yeah, I feel like Ainsley's a real good shout at the moment with the amount of injuries they've got in the props. And Billy Harmon, for me, it's either him or Tom Christie that they may end up going with. So I don't know whether they'll go with both. I feel like the only way they can go with both is if they didn't have Sam Cane, but I don't see that happening with Ian Foster as the coach. So I would say, yeah, either Harmon or Christie. I'd have them in there somewhere. It's just that question of whether or not they feel they need Kane and Papali and another fella with the, I guess, the covering that someone like a Peter Gus or maybe a Kiriwani can cover. A good game so far. Hoping the Reds can produce a comeback. Says Arabiach. And also, George coming over for any finals tonight, Hammy. The only final that he may be coming around for, I think, is Hurricanes versus Brumbies. But I haven't heard anything about it just yet in terms of whether he will be here. But he won't be here for the Crusaders draw game, but he might be here for the one after. And also, yes, where's Georgie Miami? He is at his house. We are hanging out tomorrow, though, filming some videos, which is why I'm still a little bit on the fence of whether or not I'm doing the 3 a.m. game because he is showing up at 11. Told me that we're going for lunch at KFC, and then we're coming home and filming. So I don't know if I'll get KFC. I might get something else while we're up there. I feel like the world's the oyster, in it. The world's our oyster. That's the saying. Might vlog it, I guess. And go on, Brad Fawn's Reds. Give your coach. Annex says Kitioni. Now the second 40 minutes, just around the corner for this one. One try from the Chiefs. That was a Moni Anarawa. The other tries that we did see from the Reds, one scored by Harry Wilson and one scored by Suliasi Vunivalu. And KFC Legends, here's Nazi Williams. Yeah, I think the plan is to go up there. We'll probably end up going to Harvey Norman because they just showed me an ad, even if we don't buy anything. Just to have a look around. Okay, the Chiefs commentators are saying they thought the first try that was denied for Narawa was borderline with the push in the back. Fraser McWright, 3 meters out from the line. They showing the replay again of what Harry Wilson was able to do, rip that ball away. I think the world of Hugh Renton, very hardworking, reliable player. Just hope the Highlanders offer him a new contract. That'd be dumb not to. You know what I'm saying? Because he is one of those guys he's the workhorse of the 4-pack. He's physical as well. And, you know, he can play 6, 7, or 8. And even he can sometimes go lock, can't he? You're in KFC Amy. I have breast for me. Says Spider Mick. You don't know what we'd end up getting. It's going to be weird because, like, KFC for lunch is always, it feels weird to have just because it seems too early, you know? Good game so far, says Tomo. Has been close one, which I think is what exactly everyone wants for a quarterfinal rather than a one-sided affair. Like, as much as it's great for the side who win it one-sided, I feel like for the sake of excitement and enjoyability, that's not a real word, I don't think. But you want to make sure it's a relatively close game for your quarters, which is what I hope it is for the next game. It is going to be the Fijian Drua taking on the Crusaders. We will be covering that game at 7:05 p.m. New Zealand time. We are starting at 7, though. Then we've also got the game after that, the Hurricanes taking on the Brumbies. It's going to be a fantastic fixture. Showing some of the big hits that we've seen throughout this first half. Summer Penifino, he has had a sensational game. And it's normal to go to KFC at 10 a.m. for brekkie. There's Nazi Williams. So what would you get for breakfast from KFC? Out of curiosity, I feel like chicken is more of an afternoon tea food for myself, you know? So I guess you get like do they have any bacon and egg things? They got a bacon and egg burger, but it also has chicken in it. A snack box, maybe? They got donuts at the ground. Who doesn't love a mini donut? Those are always fantastic. They cost about $25 a pop, but they're always very good. Seen more tackles missed by the Reds. They are just showing down the bottom. Meters made 335 for the Chiefs compared to the 186 of the Reds. Their penalty count, like I mentioned, 6 from the Chiefs, 4 from the Reds. Got to be a little bit careful not to let that number get too much higher because I feel in the second half, like it could be the case of the team that gives away the least penalties could end up in the best position. Family Feast with 20 wicked wings for the entree. Says Nazi Williams, surely is Nazi KFC bacon and egg wrap. Says, Nate, do they have a bacon and egg wrap? And just get a bucket. Says, and blocked arteries. Says Ruby and Remy. I didn't know they had a bacon and egg wrap at McDonald's. Oh, sorry, at KFC. I know McDonald's have one that's like a bacon and egg muffin thing, isn't it? But yeah, see, I'm not normally, because we live in a small town, you don't have anywhere that you can go really for breakfast other than the local bakery. It's the only place that really does breakfast around here, unless you go into like a dairy to buy some cereal and some milk. Second half just around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. They're talking about UFC this weekend with Amanda Nunes taking on Aldana. That's going to be a good fight. I don't think I'm buying that pay per view though, because I think we're filming at the time that it's on. I'm going to do a quick old Google. UFC, yeah, Aldana, they're fighting at 2 p.m., which I believe is around the time that we will be getting back from our ventures. Oliveira versus Dariush will be a very good fight, though. Hopefully, because they've got that grappling background, also throw pretty hard shots. Lamb flaps, says far, and also low, says Nazi Williams. Second half, do let me know your score predictions, ladies and gentlemen, because we are in the scenario of a close first half. Second half, just around the corner. I hope that it stays close. I want it to go down to the last 10 minutes, keep us on the edge of our seat. And builds nicely into that next game between the Crusaders and the Fijian draw. But throughout the regular season, I am going to show some stats once again. Last time that these two sides played, of course, it was the Reds who were able to walk away with that victory. But throughout the regular season, looking at the way that the table sits, as you can see there, the Reds just getting themselves into that top 8 because of that last, I think they lost their last game to the Fijian draw, but then the Force lost their game, so that allowed them to stay up there. Does anyone watch that bearded guy from the UK? Does all the eating challenges in the pub, etc., and usually beats it? Bearded guy from the UK. There's a lot of bearded guys in the UK. It's not a strong man, is it, Jason? Because I know the likes of someone like Eddie Hall, but I don't think he's done any eating challenges recently. I think he's trying to get into shape. And 30 to 10 for the Chiefs. Beard meets food. Is that his name? Oliveira for that win. Says Nazi Williams, you'll be a good commentator. What do you do for work, Kiwi lad? Says Cripps. So it's a bit weird what I do. So I pretty much, this is part of my job a little bit, but I call it more of a hobby that just takes up a very large amount of time. I'm also a builder during the week, work with my dad, who does have his own building company. So I work for him at random hours because of the fact that I do so many late night live streams. Sometimes I have to start in the afternoon. So I normally try and squeeze a few hours in each week just to keep the bills paid. And yeah, at one stage I was working at a bowling alley, but that was weird because I wasn't actually supposed to be working there. And I somehow started working there, all because of a cricket breakup that we had. And I got a job. So yeah, that happened for like 3 weeks. That was all right. But then, yeah, I was supposed to do some videos for them instead of working there. Hey, bro, says Callum, welcome in, mate. You are doing well. Yeah, do that. A little bit of that, a little bit of this. Other than that, not too much. Normally, I guess the time that the channel takes up does mean that, in terms of full time job, can't really get away with it, unfortunately. Which is, I mean, it's good in some ways because I love doing the channel. It's bad in some ways because I don't have much money. But then saying that, I'm doing all right, even without it. And I ripped the Iron Sheik and Bruce Anderson. Yeah, I saw the news that the Iron Sheik passed away, but sad. The Rock had a good tribute to him, I did see. That ad was trippy. They were like moving a whole heap of coloured circles. Or sorry, they're squares. I learned on our trip that I'm really not like good with my eyes. I was trying to read signs and I had to sit there like this, try and see it, and I just couldn't see half of them. I mixed up Palmerston for Rakaya, and there's a bit of a difference in those two words, I do have to say. The Chiefs, they'll certainly be looking for plenty of tries in this second half, and the Chiefs, and they're from Cullen. We're going to have a prediction, ladies and gentlemen. Who's going to score the first try of the second half, do we think? It's got to be one of those backs, doesn't it? I'm thinking either Nanai Satoro, Narawa, or Stevenson. I don't know who, though. Just looking through at all of them. Damian McKenzie's been quiet. So he could have a half crack, maybe, in this one. And as the Hurricanes and Brumbies playing tonight too, they are playing at 9:35 p.m. Most restless past of heart failure. Says Spider Mick. Yeah, I mean, the Iron Sheik, like, for the age that he was when he passed away, like, he's done pretty decently in terms of from that era. A lot of the others have passed away beforehand. Denver Nuggets looking for their first NBA title. Cheers. Now, I saw that they won their game last. No, it was the night before last, I think it was, wasn't it? Geez, by 19 points. Says Blues Nate Talkiaho for the first one. And too many steroids over time. That's why, says Nazi Williams. Yeah, they do have the effect on the body. Slowly wearing it down. Kicking meters, 1,235 for one side, 885 on the other side. Pretty impressive for the amount that we have seen for the kicking department. Lineouts won. We've seen 6-1 by the Reds, but they have lost 3 of their own. Lineout number 14 for the Reds. Score the first try, second half. So that is Suliasi Vunivalu. 3-1 today, says Nate. Vunivalu is a good shout because anytime he's had the ball, he's made meters. And if it's not him for the Reds, I would say it's from his offload that they'll score. Just because he has got that little bit of a flick pass that he can do near the end of the Reds. They have gone with 4 offloads so far in this match, whereas the Chiefs, they have only had the 1. Or in fact, they've had none. The Chiefs bench looking ready to come back onto the field very soon. Likes of a Jacobson, Natua, Koi, Cortez, Aratama, Joshuani, all there. And come on, the Chiefs get a try first in the second half. Scores too close to call, says Spider-Meek, but we are now underway for the second half, ladies and gentlemen. It is taken by Suliasi Vunivalu. Makes a couple extra meters before tackled by a Talkiaho. And McDermott goes off to the left-hand side. Harry Wilson. Drive him forward that little bit further. Looks like not many changes for either side at the start of the second half. Liner. Sit down the middle of the field. Goes to McKenzie now. Sama Penny Finau. Charges at the line. Tackled by Penny Ravai. Once again, they're trying to get the penalty there, the Chiefs in the breakdown. That is about the 4th time that Angus Gardner has said, no, you've put him in there. And we've also got Chiefs will run away with it. Says far. Currently, they sit on the halfway line. Samasoni Talkiaho. Nice carry again. Now McKenzie goes off to Josh Lord. Oh, Dalgunu fell in a really weird way. Like he had no bones in his body. Kicked high from McKenzie. Nicely taken by Jock Campbell. McDermott goes across to Tom Liner again. Downfield, Sean Stevenson takes it. I'm having like a partial drink every little break that we got now. Sean Stevenson driven backwards in the tackle by Matt Faisler. McKenzie, short ball to Sama Benny Finau. Off to the right-hand side, Weber goes to McKenzie now. Amoni Nato, a big shot on him by Filippo Dalgunu. He's had a lot of tackles. But also, apparently, the Iron Sheik used to snort cocaine while doing a handstand. That is quite impressive. I can't even do a handstand. Al Talkiaho, tackled by James O'Connor. Weber going across to the right-hand side. I believe they're up to about 6 phases now with Summerpenny Finau once again wrestled down. Slowly making meters, maybe about 1 per run. Leno, brown bag shot on him by Filippo Dalgunu. He certainly would have been feeling that one. Looks like, is it called as a maul? Oh, it's actually stolen there by Fraser McWright. Turnover is good for the Reds. Now up on the offload to Penny Ravai. Ran a little bit too high, but still manages to find the offload. The referee has gone down. He's taken quite the knock there, Angus Gardner. Don't want to be amongst it with the Fijians. You'll certainly have some bruises on your body after that. And Chiefs will run away with it and come on the Chiefs, says Ricky. And also Drua Tosso, says Muhammad. Now it looks like McDermott going to be putting this ball up high. Fair play to Angus Gardner, though, because he got cleaned out. And then he was lying down on the ground and just got back up. Rather than stopping the game and being like, I can't see because I'm lying on the ground, that's going to be kicked out on the fall by the Reds. Looks like Filipa Dalgunu. I mentioned how he might not have any bones in his body the way that he fell before. Maybe he's broken his wrist here, though. He's thrown the mouth guard. He's not happy. I think he knows that he's done something bad. I think he's related to funny haircut man Elson. There's Marco. So we're at a boom, big shot. But that wrist just goes limp after making that tackle for Filipa Dalgunu. So hopefully he is going to be all right. Someone sees stars. Says Spider Mick. Angus Gardner taking it like a champ. Right. Going to be Taj Anand making his way out onto the field now. He was playing in the Aussie under-20s side not too long ago. Matt Faisler now finding the offload away to Penny Ravai. This is great work from the big men finding another offload. Here comes Ryan Smith. Back across to the right. Siru Uru ends up with the ball. Good go forward here for the Reds. They look to attack. Nice seller dummy from James O'Connor. Makes those couple extra meters. Now McDermott short ball. Goes off to Fraser McWright. Trying to run over the top of Anton Leonard-Brown, who may be stuck in there, but the ball is going to be available. And let's go. There's Ricky. Now, Uru. Still on the 40-meter line. Liner goes to the left. James O'Connor with a good step. He's coming to his own in the second half, James O'Connor with the running game. McDermott short ball to Penny Ravai, who almost ended up dropping that ball, but has just managed to hang on to it to the left again. It's going to be the young man, Taj Anand. Will be playing in the upcoming under-20s World Cup that is just around the corner. Penny Ravai, another good carry. He will be playing for the Fijians, the upcoming Rugby World Cup. Tom Liner. Like they're up to the 10 phase mark, but they haven't quite been able to find that gap they have been after. James O'Connor tackled well by Tauchiaho. Bit of a counter-ruck there from Amoni Narua, but it's kind of set up a bit of a line break scenario for the Reds. Brody Retallick over the ball, gets the turnover. The big man, and now Brad Weber, he's off, he's quick as well. Gonna put the kick in behind. It looks like McKenzie chasing after it. It's cleaned up by Jock Campbell. Brilliant stepping. Oh, he's been cleaned up. How's your chin? You're gonna need a new one. Now Harry Wilson picks the ball up. Tackled by Anton Leonard-Brown. Counter-ruck there from Finau doesn't work out, but the Reds now inside of their 22. They're going to have to kick this one downfield, or are they going to run it? Looks like they want to have a bit of a run, or they are just creating that angle a little bit more. Yes, tell you what, Peter Gus-Soakula went absolutely flying in for that shot. Big kick downfield from Tom Liner. Very good clearance in that scenario. The Fijian drawer just going to be Team Fiji play within the World Cup, says E-Dog. They've got a 23 count of Fijian draw players in that Fijian side, so we might see quite a few Fijian draw players starting lineups with the addition of someone like a Joshua Tuisova perhaps in there. A few of the other big forwards, Albert Tuisui from overseas. Thrown in now. Now Weber goes across to McKenzie. Short ball from Ramika Poihipi. Sam Kane goes up to the halfway line now. Weber back across to Finau. Leonard-Brown, a few extra meters, but is tackled by the youngster Annan. Annan and Anton at the moment. Just almost change a letter or two. Now Weber looks to go to the right-hand side. The big Brody Retallick. He's a tough man to put down. Managed to get this turnover initially that gave the Chiefs the momentum. Samasoni Tokiaho tackled low by Fraser McWright. Now Weber again goes off to the right-hand side. Rush defense from Tate McDermott. Doesn't work out. Now Sean Stevenson wrestled down by Harry Wilson. And also, has the Hurricanes ever played or already played, mate? No, they are playing a little bit later on tonight up against the Brumbies. That is the 9:35 p.m. game. Nice run from Atino Nana Satoro. Cuts back on the inside. He had the numbers to the left-hand side, but decided against going there. But now Weber with the kicker behind. No one really chasing other than Suliasi Vunivalu. It goes into touch. Kiwi John and said, Hamish, this is the best commentary I've seen you do. Mana to you. Keep up the great commentary. Go the Chiefs. Says Kiwi John. Do appreciate that a lot, mate. What happened here? Why did the Chiefs set the line out? Did someone try and go for the quick throw and completely ballsed it up? I think they might have. So they're kicking behind. It goes into touch. Suliasi Vunivalu tried to take it quickly. What happened? I'm trying to work out what the go was there, and I do not know what the go was. But either way, it's a Chiefs line out. I got confused. May the best team be on top. Damn hot flushes. There's Nov Mum. Josh Law going off. He's had a pretty decent game. He's taken some big hits. He's given out a few big hits too. And now Natua Kui made his way onto the park. On out throw now for Samasoni Tokiaho. They never actually showed the replay of what happened for the replay. Yeah, what actually happened with how the ball ended up on the side of the Chiefs. The Reds at the moment, they are 6 points down and they are $10 underdogs, perhaps going even higher if the Chiefs. Okay, another change. John Ryan off the field, George Dyer out there. Seems like the ref was also confused. He tried to start play when there was a player being attended to. Mikapoyapi doing up the bootlaces, getting ready for a big carry forward, perhaps. The inside centre looking to crash towards the line. Who's you pick for the final, says Brendan. It's a little bit tricky, mainly because we don't really know who's going to be playing who for those semi-finals yet. But by the end of tonight, I'll have my prediction of who I think will go on to the final. And it will probably be wrong. What happened? The ref, again, ignore the red, says Spider McNow. Weber goes across to Big Brody Retallick. Going to be the advantage. That is against Angus Blythe for not rolling away. That is actually one of the first not rolling away penalties that the Chiefs have actually been able to create. Oh, Peter Kasawakula knocks the ball on. They will be going back for another penalty. And I believe the Chiefs, even though, of course, they'd love to go for the corner, the 3 is the smart option here. Get outside of that 7-point margin. And I mean, McKenzie's been fantastic with his kicking game so far today, getting 4 from 4. So it makes sense for him to have another crack. 2 minutes remaining in this final. I should mention the next final that is taking place is going to be 7:05 p.m. New Zealand time. That is the game between the Crusaders and the Fijian Drill. We will be covering that one on the channel also. It's going to be a fantastic atmosphere at Orange Theory. I should have sent Isaac to that game. Would have been a good idea. I was talking to him earlier today. I wonder if they've still got tickets on sale for Crusaders versus Fijian Drill. They probably don't, but that kick is successful from Damian McKenzie, so that now makes the score 19 points to 10. They still got tickets. I'd like to think it would be sold out, but it doesn't look like it's sold out. Oh, no, she's looking pretty sold out. I don't think there's many. I don't know how to find seats. No, I think she's pretty packed. That's good news. Of course. Want it to be sold out for the day. Kicked him behind now from Jock Campbell. And also, if Tom got those kicks, says Nazi Williams, yeah, would have added an extra 7 points. We'd be sitting 19 points to 17 at the moment. Too many penalties, says Spider Mick. Yeah, that is the 5th one against the Reds. 6 so far against the Chiefs. Oh, no, they do still have seats. You still get a seat to the game. Fair play. Faisler. Line up the kick. Is that Red's first 5 the son of the Aussie legend liner? He is, yes. Is also in the under-20s Australian side. That's going to be stolen. Oh, that was stolen by the Chiefs, then stolen back by the Reds. It looks like it's a knock-on advantage against Aiden Ross. Bit of a counter-ruck there, and it actually becomes the penalty for him through the side in the Reds' favour. They will be more than likely looking for the corner here. They need some points on the board, though, soon, or else the Chiefs have got that potential of being able to run away with this contest. I will mention anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We are on the road to 25,000 to... So what? They're taking on the 3. I guess that's an option. I would have thought that was 7 every day of the week, or at least going for the 7. But no, they've gone against it. And Brumbies versus Crusaders, and there are $20 bet, says Brendan, for that one. Tom Liner to line up the kick. He has not been successful as of yet today, sitting 0 from 3. Now trying to kick this one from about 40 meters out. It's got the distance on it, and it has gone over. Okay, so maybe just trying to build up his confidence. That will now put them back within the 7 points. Okay. The fact that it went over helps, because I was a little bit worried that if it had missed, then it was just that more pressure on a youngster who is already under pressure. But it looks like they are going to be making the change now. There's Penny Ravai going off the field, and Whangagasi. So I think they've replaced both. And it's going to be for Ngor, who did start the match last week. Big shot there from Nato Akoi. Or I think Ryan Smith got his finger bent the wrong way there. The way that he was clinching it, only 6 behind. To see try with them back in it. Says Builder, as long as he gets the conversion over. Now Sama Penny Finau runs at the line again. 40 meters out. Across to the right-hand side. Peter Gus Soakula thought about the offload option to Kane. Couldn't quite free up the arms. Now to the left. Taukiaho has numbers outside him. Tries to break through. Zane Ungor, who takes him down. Weber now quick ball to Sean Stevenson. He's through. Goes on the outside. A big Brody Retallick. He's 5 meters out from the line now. And McWright not quite able to get the turnover. Nato Akoi, no look pass off to George Dyer. The Chiefs at the moment, they are looking like they are just an inch away from getting themselves their first try of the contest, or of the second half, I should say. Now Weber once again tries to milk the penalty. Referee says no, so he has to go off to the right-hand side. Moni Narawa thought about carrying that one off the back of the breakdown. Steve Weber goes across to Soakula. The left. Oh, Weber's knocked the ball on. And Zane Ungora gets a good turnover in the process, but they will go back for the scrum now. 10 meters out from the Reds line. That little mistake for the Chiefs. Yeah, like I mentioned, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We are sitting on 24,325 at the moment. So let's see how close we can get to 24,350 by the end of this one. We have got plenty more Super Rugby commentary coming in the near future. We also announced the lineups for the sides. We will be doing the same for the semi-finals, and also throughout the whole World Cup. We are covering plenty of the action. So be sure hit that subscribe button. Reds should be, I should have a good 15 to 20 minutes in the second half. The Chiefs should win comfortably, says Rooster. His old man must be proud of his son, says Marco there for Tom Liner. He'll be even more proud if he can somehow have 2 wins against the Chiefs in the same season. It's a penalty to the Reds. That is massive for them. They were only 10 meters out from their line, popping up in the front row. There was actually Seth Whangasi. He was extremely happy about that one. Come on, Weber. Stop milking mama teats. Play fair, says Spider Mech. Yeah, I think at this stage, with the fact that Angus Gardner is not keen to give them that penalty, so the more that they try for that penalty, the less likely he is to say, oh, I guess we'll finally give you one. He's going to keep going, nah. And Chiefs need to start defending and attacking, says Nov Mum there. The Reds doing pretty well to keep close in this contest compared with some predictions from a few people. Matt Faisler now to throw this one in. 35 meters out from the Reds line. I see that Ollie Norris now on the field for Aiden Ross. McWright off the back of the rolling ball goes across to McDermott. It's the battle of the mix at the moment. Missing a McDonald's out there. Unless one of the teams is sponsored by Mickey D's. I don't see an M though. Now back into the pocket. I see an M. It's on Tom Liner's side. Reds are sponsored by Mickey D's. Now Sean Stevenson goes across to the right-hand side of Moni Narawa with the kick in behind, looking for the 50-22, but back there to cover it was Josh Fluke. The downfield, getting it to roll towards the touchline. Well covered by Damian McKenzie, who slings the wide ball across to Sean Stevenson. Down the middle of the field again with the kick. That has been quite a prominent factor in this game. It's just a back and forth kicking battle. McKenzie takes it on his 22. You'll never guess what happens next. He kicks it, but he goes for the little chip there rather than the big one. Goes to halfway, and Seth Whangasi manages to clean it up. Now McDermott goes across to Mick Wright. Those two like each other, I think. What team do you want to win the title? It's a tricky one. I know that a lot of people would say they want to see a winner that's not the Crusaders. But then they also want to see the Crusaders through to the final so that it's like beating the defending champ. Great work from Peter Gusto-Akula. Just lost the ball at the last moment in that breakdown. Now Mick Wright going across to Sef Fagasi. That's gone into touch off Brad Weber. Just needs to start defending. Like it is going to be a Reds line out now, though. I guess see, looking disappointed. I'm going to sneeze again, is what I was going to say. Oh, did Matt Faisler change his line? This might be a penalty against the Reds here. Oh, Dalgunu's fractured his arm and he is off to A&E, they have just said. So that's not good. Means that not just for the Reds, but also the Wallabies, he might be out. Big run forward there from the youngster and runs at Damian McKenzie, both showing no fear of the contact. Harry Wilson now moves up. Samasoni Takiaho takes him down. Only 6 points difference between these two sides. Siruru with the 6 on his back knocks the ball on. That will now be a scrum feed for the Chiefs. And the drawer says uppy there. Playing just around the corner. It's going to be a fantastic game then versus the Crusaders. And welcome back another weekend with person. Says Abdul Malik. Welcome in, mate. Oh, he didn't quite get that one. Dalgunu. Oh, sorry, Siruru. Hit him in the shoulder. Reds forward coach. All eyes are on him right now. And Dango Dalgunu off to A&E. Ouch. All right, Vunivalu and Dalgunu performance. Dalgunu, before he got injured, was doing very well, I thought. I'd probably give him about a 7 out of 10. He would have had a higher rating if he had some running meters. He hasn't had too many of them throughout the match. And then Suliasi Vunivalu, he's done everything right. What he's had to out on the wing, not really taking too many big risks, but can't afford to win a quarterfinal. Right. No Australian side has won a Super Rugby finals match in New Zealand. 0 from 14 is the stat that has just come up on the screen. 58 minutes gone. I'm going to very quickly lean around my green screen and check to see if the fire's still going. Only just. I was looking for some life and I'm going to have to put some wood on it after the stream, I'd say. Sad day for the Hurricane supporters, says Abdul Malik. How come? They're still in the competition. They're going to be playing up against the Brumbies later on. They actually come in as favourites as well, which I thought was quite surprising. Nice run there from Anton Leonard-Brown. Moves up to now 40 metres out from the Reds line. Weber goes to the left-hand side to Damian McKenzie off to Peter Gusto-Akula. Another good tackle made on him by Ryan Smith. Tell you what, the forwards in general need a round of applause for this fixture because both sides been throwing their bodies on the line. Tino Anasatora loses the ball in the breakdown. Harry Wilson ball on the outside to Tom Liner. Is the ball going to curve the way that he needs it to? It does. About 2 meters out from the line. Is that a 50-22? It is a 50-22 for Tom Liner. That now puts the Reds only 5 meters out from the Chiefs line. That's a fantastic kick from under pressure as well. That ball just curled enough to go out about a meter from the line. Fantastic work from him. Right, 5 meter scrum, 5 meter line out now for the Reds. And also we have got there, it's that you, Master Mel. And also fire, put it out with your water bottle hammy. No, it's a controlled fire. It's not like a barrel in the back of my lounge. It's in a fireplace. The other Reds says Mr. Billy, now the rolling ball for the Reds, not really marching forward too quickly here, although Matt Faisler might be a good shout for being able to get himself over the try line very soon. Siruru, though, goes around the side. Fantastic tackle made by the Chiefs. Couple meters out. Suliasi Vunivalu gets over the line. You called it. Someone said that it was going to be him who scored the first try, and it certainly was. Jason, you nailed it for your prediction. And also, Red's going to win this here, Salome, and now they are only 1 point down, Master Mel. We all know that fella. And also, damn it, Chiefs, come on, boys. Have to go to work later. Go the Hurricanes. Woo, says Ruth. Fantastic run on the short side from Suliasi Vunivalu. Spotted the gap, knew that he was going to be in a one-on-one scenario. And when you're that close to the line, it's hard not to get over. Come on, the Reds, says Daniel. And who's the try, says Nazi Williams. Good morning, says Blues Nate. The Reds now with an important kick. This could give them the lead in this fixture. Poor Chiefs, says Joseph. Yeah, they found their bogey team, that is for sure. You do not want to be the first side out of 15 playoff games to lose on New Zealand soil for a Kiwi team. Still got 20 minutes left, though, to be able to turn it around. And that penalty three was confident. You would peak this try. Tom Liner, he's got that kick over. It's as if at halftime, he's just pretty much put on a different pair of boots. And these ones working a lot better. The Reds now only $2.60 underdogs. I will mention, I'd say 10 minutes ago, they were $11 underdogs. So people who put money on them at that stage will be going, "Ooh, we got this." And Chiefs ain't done yet. 20 to go. Still got time. Chiefs will bounce back, says Heather. Yeah, they have got plenty of firepower still to come off the bench for their side. Weber has now been taken off the field for Cortez Ratama, one of the fittest players, one of the fastest, I should say. Seen him run a Bronco. Normally completes it in about 4 and a bit minutes. Now, Tate McDermott going to be rolling this ball back, but the Reds with the lead again in this contest. Ball has been put high. For this one to come down, nice take from Josh Ioane, another one of the replacements. He is on the field for Tene Nana Satoro. Give him my fave with the G says Te Oriwa. Now big run from Samasoni Tokiaho. Ratama goes across to the right-hand side. McKenzie off to Peter Gasoa Kula. I'm still waiting to see that Jacobson change that they can use later on in the contest. Big run forward again from Ollie Norris, but he's held up by the Reds. Just gets his back to the ground. Is it called as a maul? Yes, it is. And the Reds managed to get themselves the scrum again. Cortez Ratama to score in the next 20, says Stephen Marks. And Chiefs need some chill. Second half, they would usually hit and run away on the board and pull your socks up, Chiefs, and get them behind, boys. Reds are doing more than expected, says Drew Afania. A lot of people weren't anticipating the Reds to be close. They felt that game that the Reds were able to beat the Chiefs and could have been a slight fluke, but they are showing right here in this contest that that's not the case. They just seem to have some sort of recipe that the Chiefs are a bit allergic to. It just seems to not quite work out for them when they play head-to-head. Now it's going to be the scrum here for the Reds. 40 metres out go the Satyrs, says Heather there. And my likely 4 teams of the semis are the Satyrs, the Blues, the Brumbies, and the Canes. Wait, no. Can't have that spider meat because 2 of them are playing each other. Now, big scrum from the Reds. That's going to be an advantage in their favour, I would think. No, referee says play on. Now, James O'Connor looking for the 50-22 again, and they have got it, another one. That's hurting the Chiefs big time. They don't have the man back to cover it, and it's another 50-22. Missed your commentary, an energetic personality. Hamish, my phone is crap at the moment. I got to get it sorted, says Reeve. Well, it is great to have you here, even if we are completely glitching out. But James O'Connor, 50-22. They are executing that play brilliantly. I believe that's the 3rd time they have done that in this match. Now Matt Faisler to throw the ball in. Are you okay, Spidey? Have another one, eh? Nicely taken by the Reds. Offloaded back from McWright. Goes to Harry Wilson. Always going to give you 110% on the carry. Now Siruru steps, taken down by Sam Kane. They're 10 metres out from the line now for the Reds. Ryan Smith, in fact, it's Angus Blythe. Gets that a little bit closer. McDermott up to Siruru. The ball's gone back, says the referee. So McDermott able to clean it up. Reds still in position. Chiefs, WGF, are you doing? Says Nov Mum. Back across to the right-hand side. Ryan Smith taken down. Penalty goes the way of the Chiefs. In through the side. Straight off his feet, says Angus Gardner. And the Chiefs, you'd have to say at this point, they're surviving when they're inside of their own 22. Those 50-22s have been brutal. Yeah, I think there was Penny Ravai. Ended up losing his footing, just flopped over the ball. Watching and listening from Mount Bromo, East Java, Indonesia. Go to the drawer and the Reds from Fiji and live in Brisbane, says Einel. So you will certainly be excited for that next contest that's taking place between the Fijian drawer and the Crusaders. We're going to be covering that one. I'm nervous for that game. It's going to be a pretty tricky one. Chiefs are gone, says Daniel Watson. They need to find some sort of momentum. They need a match winner at the moment. The question is, who is it going to be? Are we going to see McKenzie step up? Because it's been relatively quiet throughout this contest so far. Is it going to be someone like an Anton Leonard-Brown or perhaps a replacement? Sean Stevenson, he's been fantastic throughout the regular season. He's just gone with the grubber in behind. Ball doesn't bounce in his favour, and it's cleaned up by Jock Campbell, who's then taken down by Damien McKenzie. And Chiefs are losing. There's Lachlan, come on the Chiefs, says Stephen Marks, and go the Reds from Vancouver. Says Day and Drewer going to be put in their place, says Hanny Maid. Now, 45 metres out from their own line. McDermott goes for the grubber and behind. McKenzie is back to cover that one, though. They cannot afford another 50-22 against them. Now Josh Ioane boots it down the middle of the field, looking for a bit of open space, but it does go straight to the Reds. I honestly feel that the Chiefs aren't winning this territory game. McKenzie has to go and take that ball, tries to keep it in the field of play, and he has just kept it in. Now Sean Stevenson runs it forward. I think they need to do that more. They've been making meters when they've been running, yet when they're in that kicking battle, the fact that they have no 50-22s and the opposition have got 3, Josh Ioane kicks the ball away. Maybe not the best choice again. Vunivalu has to go back and clean that one up. Crusaders win today 50-14. Brad is a great coach, a tactician who knows how to win. Kick downfield from Suliasi Vunivalu. Now the Chiefs about 40 meters out from the Reds line. And Chiefs 13 plus says him there as well. They would need 2 converted tries. Luke Jacobson now making his way onto the field. He was supposed to be in the starting lineup, but because of illness, meant that he didn't have much energy yesterday, and they decided instead it was Summer Penny Finau's opportunity to start at 6 and Peter Gasoa-Kulas to start at number 8. And I have to say, Finau's had a fantastic game for the Chiefs already. Luke Jacobson in the action, taking that one nicely in the line out. But the Chiefs now 38 meters out for the line. Jacobson drops the head, runs straight at Fraser McWright. Chiefs choking. There's Brendan there. Al Tauhiaho wrestled down 3 phases in a row here for the Chiefs. Cortez Ratama off to the right-hand side. A little bit of a set play there for the Chiefs. McKenzie steps. Can he unleash a little bit of magic here? Show why he should be one of those options for fly half in the AB. I feel like he's secured it already. It's just that question of will he be the starter? Now Ratama goes off again. The Ramika Poi happy. Luke Jacobson moves them up to the 22. Now once again to the left. A little bit of a skip pass there to Anton Leonard Brown. Sam Kane charges up. The 15 out from the line. This is good phase play from the Chiefs. Not willing to give that ball up. Need to make sure that they keep it in their hands now. Samasoni Tauhiaho goes off to Peter Gasoa-Kula. I love an advantage here. The Chiefs just to secure their 3 points on the board so that they can try and take on the 7. Big seller, the dummy from Josh Ioane, driven backwards by Josh Fluke. Did not work out there. Back to the left again. Sam Kane. The 17 out from the line. 11 phases in a row now for the Chiefs, and they are not budging the Reds' defense. Got some pretty decent tackling stats, although they did miss 15 tackles in the first half. The Chiefs will be hoping one of those is coming very soon. Back across to the right-hand side to George Dyer. Moving up to 14 phases now. An advantage is there now for the Chiefs. The crowd roar for that one as they know that now the Chiefs can throw absolutely everything into this. Ollie Norris goes back across to Cortez Ratama. Rameka Poyapi stepping on the inside. Moves to 10 out. Now Ratama recycles. Goes to the right-hand side. Little grubber from McKenzie. The ball's curling. Leonard Brown tries to get it. Cameraman gets cleaned up by Suliasi Vunivalu. And they'll go back for the penalty. This is not the score I expected, says Mysterion. And also we have got there, what time is the Hurricanes game, bro? Says Hanny. It is going to be taking place at 9:35 p.m. New Zealand time. Now, it is not the next game, but the game after. We've also got there. Hi, mate. Says Aaron. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well. Anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We are going to be back for the next 2 quarterfinals of the Super Rugby Pacific competition. Yeah, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 24,400 at the moment, and we are not too far away, so be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It looks like they will take on the 3 points here for the Chiefs. That is the smart option. Get themselves back into the lead 69 minutes into this matchup. It is going down to the wire, and it could be a penalty that decides it. We've already seen about 7 or 8 against the Chiefs. We've seen about 6 against the Reds. The kick is successful from Damian McKenzie, and that now makes the score 22 points to 20. I was here yesterday watching the Blues versus Waratahs. Says, I like hot dogs. So you will know that the Blues are through. We're not sure who they will be playing next. But if the Chiefs are victorious in this game, they will more than likely be facing the winner of the Brumbies versus Hurricanes, unless there is the upset win for the Fijian Drua. Choose your team, Drua versus Crusaders. Says Nazir. I am actually going to be wearing a Fijian Drua polo shirt for that one. And he hit the cameraman Uso. Says Marco, and Reds putting up a good fight. Go the Chiefs, says Lord Forth. And come on, the Chiefs, says Polo. But it's kicked off now by the Reds. Taken beautifully by Brody Retallick above his head after being lifted by Samasoni Tauhiaho. Now Ratama goes off to Norris. The big thing here for the Chiefs is get down the field, get into the Reds territory. Big boot downfield from Damian McKenzie. I mentioned earlier on, they haven't really been winning the territory battle, but in this case, you do not want to be deep inside of your own area. Jock Campbell kicks it back. Now it's going to be run forward from Josh Ioane, who will once again go for the kick himself, trying to find it down towards the 22, cleaned up by Suliasi Vunivalu. I have to say, there's just more meters being made for the Reds when it comes to that running game, or sorry, that kicking game. What a quarterfinal, says Bill McLeod. It is certainly close. Ngor now tackled on the halfway line. Reds back in possession. McDermott cross to the right-hand side. Inside ball to Harry Wilson early. And set for that one was Ollie Norris making that tackle. Now Ngora once again has the carry. Peter Gasawakula tries to hold him up. Not able to. The ball is available. It's just there, mate, is the comment from Angus Gardner. So both halfbacks trying to get those penalties for the ball not being out and the not rolling away. But neither side have really got too many of them. The ref's been pretty strong on that one. Amoni Narua, not able to take it cleanly, goes off to James O'Connor now for the Reds. They are in position just inside of the Chiefs territory. Nice spin from Angus Blythe. In fact, it's going to be Ryan Smith again. He has had a big game, big hits coming in flat out. Now James O'Connor with the grubber in behind. It has gone not into touch. McKenzie has to keep it in the field of play, looking for the option to pass across. He does find Sean Stevenson, who gives it a large boot downfield once again, though, not finding the touchline. Jock Campbell going across to the right-hand side to Tom Liner. Now is sitting on the halfway line again. This is where a lot of this game has been played, both sides kicking back and forth, and then the halfway. Oh, was that a knock-on from the Reds? No, it's gone backwards, I've said. Counter-ruck there from the Chiefs, not able to get the ball. Now they do. And Moni Narawa picks it up, finds the offload away. It's going to be to Luke Jacobson, who hasn't had too many minutes in this contest. Now looking to make an impact off the bench. Same with this man, Natoa Koi, tackled by Ngor. Cortez Aratama goes to the right again for the Chiefs. They are now 40 metres out. Josh Ioane, big run forward, tackled by McDermott. Neither side have missed too many tackles at all in this second half. It has certainly been the stronger when it comes to the defensive side of things. Ball out the side for Cortez Aratama. Goes up to Ramika Poyapi. Now McKenzie thought about the kick instead. Decides for the pass to Sean Stevenson. Inside ball to Amoni Narawa, who's going to back himself on the outside. Breaks one tackle. Taken down. 2 metres out from the line from Josh Fluke. Thought about going for the offload or going for the reach out. The penalty goes the way of the Reds for not releasing. Yeah, Moni Narawa almost reaching out far enough to touch that white line. Wasn't able to do it in the end. Great country, bro. Listening from Perth, says Jason. So welcome in, mate. Samasoni Takiaho looks like he's taken quite the knock there in the process, but it was a good call from McKenzie to not go for the grubber in behind. You've got fantastic players on your outside, the likes of a Stevenson, the likes of Narawa, who was inches from reaching out for that one. Fantastic effort from Josh Fluke. Perhaps a match-saving tackle for that man. If the Reds win, they're playing Queensland next week, says Bob Log. It will depend a little bit. The only way that they would play... No, in fact, no, they don't. I was about to say the only way that they would is if the Fijian draw one, but there is no chance for the Reds playing Queensland, sadly. This game show has you on the edge of your seat. Says Nob, I'm listening from Thailand. Go the Reds, says Jay. Earlier on, someone made a comment. They said they were sick of one-sided affairs in Super Rugby. When are we going to have a close game? This one is the best answer for that. Now thrown in by Matt Faisler for line-out time. McWright goes to McDermott. I should say O'Connor's also now going to be off the field for Lawson Creighton, who has got himself the last 6 minutes of this contest. Tom Liner puts the ball high, only 2 points difference. So if the Reds get a 3-pointer, they will be in the lead for this contest. Looks like a little bit of obstruction there between Jacobson and one of the Reds players. And Tosso Chiefs Tosso says Save there. Ratama goes off to the left-hand side. Natoa Koi with the no-look pass to Ioane. Now Leonard Brown. Fantastic effort from both of these sides throughout the second half. Like, neither side you would think they were playing in the last 5 minutes of the game. I feel like the tempo is still there. Both sides trying extremely hard to have that last little impact to turn it around. Tosso. There's Matili. Now, Cortez Aratama puts the ball high. Stevenson's after it. Gliding through the air, but Tom Liner gets his hands to it. It's turned over, though, by the Chiefs after the knock-on. Now Aratama goes to the right-hand side. Kane has got the numbers on the outside, so they do decide to use the McKenzie. Steps nicely. Ball off to Moni Narawa, who once again is almost in a try-scoring position. 20 metres out for the line. McWright gets over the ball, doesn't get the turnover. Now big Brody Retallick has his ankles taken out from underneath him by Harry Wilson. Ratama goes straight behind the breakdown to Josh Ioane, who slings it right to Leonard Brown. A converted try here would win the Chiefs the game, I would say, with only the 5 minutes remaining. Something that they want before that, though, is probably that advantage to be able to work with, because that would get them outside of the three. Retake, brilliant run from him. Goes off to George Dyer. He had Peter Gus Sowakula there, but decided against using him. Now Sowakula's over. The thing that they may check, though, is whether or not he pushed the Reds player out of a defending position. But it might just be the try for the Chiefs in the 75th minute, and Peter Gus Sowakula might have just won them the contest. I'm from Christchurch, but wouldn't mind if Fiji win. That would be a fairy tale run for the Drua boys, says Haney. It would be indeed. It would be massive for them. How has the officiating been? As the games in New Zealand, the referees favour the home side, says Richard. It's been pretty good overall for this contest. I believe the penalties, the Chiefs have given away a few more. See, this is what I'm looking at here. Is Ngoy, he was on the wrong side, gets knocked off his feet. You could call it as clearing the ruck if you're lucky. I think it is going to stand, and Peter Gus Sowakula will be getting himself the last-minute try. Yeah, Ngoy went flying in that scenario. He was almost joining the breakdown from the wrong side. So Peter Gus Sowakula, he did have the rights to be able to move him. But now McKenzie, like he's about to line up this kick. It would give the Chiefs the 9-point lead. Penalty, the Red, says Bob Log, and Peter off to France next. Yeah, it sounds like, I mean, a lot of teams are losing a lot of players, aren't they, in the near future. 3.5 minutes remaining by the time Damian McKenzie kicks this one. They will now have a 9-point lead. So the Reds need a penalty and something. And also, the Chiefs needed the ref to win. Isn't that cheating, says Richard? Not really. They were still up by 2, and they have given away more penalties, Richard. So, I mean, if you really want to have your storyline of they were cheated out of this game, I mean, you could, but not many people would be buying it, I wouldn't think. Nato Akoi, he has knocked that ball on, I believe. Nope. Going to be all right now and go the Chiefs. Says Aparama, who do you think is going to win at the moment? With only 3 minutes remaining, the Chiefs, I believe, have got this one. And that old man was ahead for the white hair, got the try. Josh Ioane goes across to Damian McKenzie now inside of the 22. Reds fans will disagree. Lowell says, Richard, yeah. It's become one of those scenarios that no matter who wins a contest, no matter how clean of a win it is, there is still controversy. If there's one decision that people don't like when their team win one decision, that's all it takes. You lose by 30, but there was one decision that you felt was the difference maker. That's the reason that side lost, you know? And where the Reds been on comp, says, and they've been waiting for this opportunity up against the Chiefs, it would seem. Going forward, but I've just joined the stream, says Matthew. Oh, great run, though, from the Reds. Going to be the replacement on Gordo. I think he knocked it on. That was the chance for the Reds. And now the Chiefs going to try and punish him for it. Josh Ioane, big run forward up to the halfway line. Doesn't look like the Chiefs are done attacking yet. This is going to make the score a little bit more one-sided, possibly. An excuse for the Wobbly fans. And the ref should have a Chiefs shirt, says Bob Log. Well, if he's lucky, they might give him one after the game. But the fact that the Chiefs have been penalised more in this game than the Reds, you'd think that maybe he'd prefer a Reds kick. And also, who do you think the Blues play in the semi, or who will they play? It is not quite confirmed yet. If the Crusaders win their game up against the Fiji and Drua, it will be Crusaders versus Blues as one of the semi-finals, and then Chiefs taking on the winner of the Brumbies versus Hurricanes game. Now back across to Liner, the youngster, 40 metres out from the line at the moment here. Little bit of a counteract there from Ollie Norris. Just lost his footing, went down to a knee. They have still got time. Suliasi Vunivalu can score a quick-fire try here. And I would say at this point, if they get into the half of the Chiefs, they have to take on the 3 points. Find out after tonight, Durkee. And also, we have got there the ref wants an Anton Leonard Brown signed shirt. Who wouldn't want an Anton Leonard Brown shirt? He's played over 100 matches for the Chiefs. So I would certainly accept one. Was on offer, and the Chiefs 100. And also, the Chiefs are these seasons, Leinster, they will end up getting nothing at the end, says Moses. They've done well to walk away with a victory here, I would say, because the Chiefs were right in this contest to the final moments. Now back across to the right. Oh, McKenzie wasn't looking, but it is going to be the knock-on again. Unfortunately, Lawson Creighton unable to hang on to that one. Hard luck next time, boys, says Steve-O. Now they are playing advantage for the last 40 seconds in favour of the Chiefs. Anton Leonard Brown stepping across field, charging up the middle. taken down by Angus Blythe, who's been a tackling machine throughout this game. That is one thing that does need to be heavily complimented for the Reds. They have not given up in this contest. They have been tackling flat out. They have been putting in the big hits, and they have been trying their absolute hearts out to get themselves another win on New Zealand soil. But it will now be 0 from 15 for Australian sides winning on New Zealand soil against New Zealand sides in playoff games. That's a very long title. And 4 seconds remaining. Chiefs will look to just close out this game, avoid any chance of an injury. Cortez Ratama puts it back across. Looks like Ollie Norris is going to have one last crack at the line, but now Ratama will put the ball back into the pocket. Josh Ioane puts it into touch, and that'll be the end of the game. 20 points to 20. The Chiefs do move on in the Super Rugby Pacific 2023 competition, and they will find out later on whether they are facing the Reds, or sorry, not the Reds, the Fijian draw, or whether they are facing the winner of the Brumbies versus Hurricanes game. And bye-bye, Queensland Reds. Back to Australia. Chiefs played well to get the win, says Crip, although there's still certainly gaps in their game that might get exposed next week depending on who they're playing. I spotted many things that I think the Chiefs will want to work on quickly before the quick turnaround. Even just something as simple as that territory battle. It only really ended up with the Chiefs getting some real good attack and momentum when they started running that ball from the back rather than being the side who kicked it and then allowed the Reds to run up to halfway. And time for a cuppa. And Reds can have a Kiwi winter holiday now, says Bob Locke. That will be all New Zealand affair. Just shows the depth of New Zealand rugby, says Geeta and GG Lads, says the Lord Forth. Anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We're on the road to 24,400 at the moment. We are currently sitting, I can announce, we are sitting on 24,330. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It's hugely appreciated. What a game. I got to give Reds some credit. Exactly right. The Reds, they fought hard in this contest. Very good game, both sides, says Mataputu. And also, All Blacks will be having an Irish or French summer at the World Cup, says Richard. Looking through at some of these stats. I know that before the game, they only had the stat of 0 for the meters carried. I believe they would have updated it by now. Yep, the Chiefs have had 1 meter made throughout this game is what this stat says. But the Reds, 206 tackles throughout this contest. So they were certainly trying their absolute best, tackling at about a 90% rate. I believe that was the same for the Chiefs, though. Around that same mark, we saw 17 carries from Sean Stevenson. Of course, a lot of those would have been when he grabbed the ball from the kicks and behind. Tackles made, 23 for Sam Cane. Now, some people do doubt that man's ability, whether or not he has still got it. I think he was pretty solid in this contest. And the 23 tackles alongside it, I think, helps confirm that for Sam Cane. The next highest was actually Retallick with 14. The old boys doing all the job out there. 2 turnovers, 1 for Retallick as well, and then 11 tackles made by Aidan Ross. Then there was 28 tackles made by Fraser McWright. 2 turnovers, 1. Harry Wilson, 19 tackles. Angus Blythe, 20 tackles. Matt Faisler, 23. The Reds, they didn't lose from lack of trying. That is one thing for sure. And who gives an F? Chiefs 1, says Steve Stevo. Well, sorry for mentioning stats, Steve. That's normally what commentary involves. And B's get to Summers, says Bob Log. Chiefs surely win the comp, says Richard. And then Hope Tom's old mate or old man legend gives his son a hiding after missing those kicks, cost the game, says Nazi. And then McWright must be all right, says Bob Log. And now we'll be able to rest up, get him ready for those warm-up games before the World Cup. We saw Damian McKenzie kick this ball 16 times throughout this contest, which is actually, it's a pretty big number for McKenzie. We also saw 16 from Tom Liner, 12 from Campbell. So that kicking battle was taking place back and forth heavily throughout it. And go the drawer, go, says Ratu. And of course, that game is just around the corner, the Fijian drawer. They will be going head-to-head with the Crusaders. That's going to be a tough game at Orange Theory Stadium. The winner of that contest, if it's the Crusaders, that will confirm Crusaders versus Blues as one of the semi-finals. The other side of things, though, is if the Drua win, it will then mean that it's Chiefs versus Fiji and Drua in the semi-finals, and then the winner of the Hurricanes Brumbies game will go head-to-head with the games. What time is the next game, Hamish? It is starting at 7:05, but we are kicking off at 7, so we've got 35 minutes till Then next contest, somehow the Chiefs doesn't look too strong now. It was a close game, says Ed. And yeah, I think it's the Reds know something that a few of the other sides maybe will start to learn soon. You know, like don't get me wrong, the Chiefs they played a good game in this contest. It was a close one. They had to fight hard. The Reds won that territory battle heavily, and they got the 350-22s to go alongside it. I live streaming the Crusaders versus, or you live streaming Crusaders Fiji Drill Lad. We are indeed. We are going to be doing the commentary. That's because they've been in Aussie for 4 past weeks. Says Bob Log and the Hurricanes woo. They had a tough match. Reds did well. I get the Hurricanes been back. And also with the Reds, we got to remember they were on a 3-match losing streak. The last game that they won was actually up against the Chiefs. Then from there, they lost to the Highlanders, the Drua, and also the Blues. So to come back from that losing streak and then manage to get yourself a close game here, 29 points to 20. Not too bad at all. I believe me and Rugby Itch, we were both relatively close with our predictions. I said 25-15 as my score prediction, and he said 27-17, I believe. And thanks so much, awesome. As always, says the Roof and Championship Round says the snooze and glad your voice came right after last night, says Jason. There is still time for it to disappear, but hopefully it is not the case by the end of the stream. And Hamish, who's going to win the World Cup in your opinion? I mean, the good news with this World Cup is there are about 6 or 7 sides that have a decent crack of being able to take out this World Cup. Maybe 6 or 7 is a bit generous, but I'd say at least 5 teams are really in the running. You got to look at someone like a France, Ireland, of course, are doing very decently. You can never count out anyone like the Springboks or the ABs. This Australian side, it's going to be hard to tell what they're going to bring to the World Cup. You've also got someone like an England. Where are they going to be in a couple months' time after a couple warm-up games? New coach as well. They were in a little bit of trouble last time, but they got the slightly easier side of the draw, some would say. Are you going to watch all the games tonight? There we are indeed. We are going to be covering them all on the channel, including the Hurricanes-Brumbies game, which is the later of the two. But nonetheless, we will be back in 33 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. And so the Chiefs will play at Hamilton. And again, they will indeed. FMG Stadium is one of the semi-final locations. It's just a question of whether the next game will be at Eden Park for the other semi-final or whether it will be at Orange Theory Stadium down in Christchurch. The Los Pumas Argentina World Cup, and cheers. There's Ruth in there as well. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 25K. If you do want to help us out, it is very hugely appreciated. But thank you all very much for tuning in. We'll see you all. Although we've got Carlos has asked how I'm doing today. Doing very well. A lot of rugby on, which is very exciting. We got those 2 games just around the corner. What did the ref do wrong, says Kevin? I thought the ref was pretty good overall for this game. And some people might question that last one just a little bit, but at that stage, the Chiefs were still 22 points to 20 up. So, of course, you can't predict what would have happened, but I feel like it was still like a pretty decent refereeing effort from him. And also, we have got the wins the next stream. It is in 32 minutes. That's when it's going to be. And Moses said Chiefs are Leinster in there as well. Yeah, nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I will see you all for the